Well, we've made it again. Yet another week has gone by. And here we are at show number 22. So that's 44 weeks we've been going. Nearly up to the year. Isn't it amazing? We never thought a year ago that we'll still be in this situation. But we are, and I'm here to try and make at least one Saturday in two go. It makes you feel a little bit better because you realise that at least you're not me. So that's something, isn't it? There's a bit of a craze for sea shanties at the moment, so I thought I'd join in. When I was a little lad, or so my mama told me, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. If I did not kiss the girls, my lips would go all moldy, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, the good ship is a-bolding, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, the sails they are unfolding, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. King Louis was the king of France before the revolution, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Then he got his head cut off, which spoiled his constitution, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, we'll hope for better weather, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, we'll all the way together, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. All the cook is in, the galley boys making duck so handy, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. The captain's in his cabin, boys, drinking wine and brandy, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, I'll sing to you with Nancy, way all the way, oh, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, she is my bit of fancy, way all the way, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, we want the better weather, way all the way, all the way, Joe. Way all the way, we're all the way together, way all the way, all the way, Joe. It's All the Way, Joe, which is a song I understand from the clipper ships, and clipper ships were fast vessels which sailed between India and here to basically get the tea, because as we all know, tea is a lovely thing. I had a lovely cup of tea yesterday after I finished work, and I made a cup of tea, and it was just like the most perfect drink in the world. Even better than beer at the time, I tell you. So, anyway, what is going on? Now, we've got a couple of videos for you tonight. We've got Alchemy Acoustic, who we've seen one of their videos before. They got a new one out, which they've sent to us. And Magicfolk, which some of you may remember headlined Feathers Fest some years back. They've sent me a video as well, which we'll be showing. Tonight's guest, it's Flat White. Well, one of them anyway. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but we've got a pandemic going on, and, you know, people can't get together, so it affects bands as well, you know. Anyway, what's been happening to you? I'll tell you what's been happening to me. Shortly after the last episode, on the Tuesday morning, I woke up, went to my computer, pressed the on button, and nothing. Absolutely zilch. So the next 2 days were spent on the phone to the repair company, who are supposed to do an in-house repair but can't because of COVID and all that, and they had me pulling things about and changing wires and switches and all that, and then came to the conclusion in the end that it was broken. So that had to go on its holidays. So my PC went on its holidays to Derbyshire. Now, they couldn't guarantee they would get it back. And obviously I had this show to do and I had to look after you lovely people. So what did I do? I bought another PC. And so I've now got two PCs. Well, one at the moment and one at the one here and one at the Menders. And so we hope that nothing really goes wrong tonight. You will notice that up in the corner here, where is it? Here, there we go. The logo isn't spinning round. It's just staying as it is. And that's because we've lost the ability to make it spin round. But at least we have a logo. And you also notice that some of the other screens are slightly different. So we haven't got quite the usual graphics. And I've also lost the lovely graphic we made up. Trevor Key, I am so sorry. We made that lovely graphic up for you last week to advertise your show on Radio Windham, and it's gone kaput until I get my old PC back. So it was a bit of a panic, but we've got round it. Now, there's also been a bit of a change to the backroom staff. Kat decided that she didn't want to carry on, but basically because she does another thing on Saturdays normally. She normally streams herself, and she was finding that doing this was sort of stopping her from doing her streaming. So I've had to recruit some new buddies. So tonight we have Magic Mike Booty. He's actually doing our thing. So Magic Mike is doing the cameras and setting the videos up for us and things like that. And every other week we will have alternate between him and Becca Hazel, who was our guest last week. And she's going to come in and help us out and be the other studio tech. So that's brilliant, isn't it? Fantastic. Thanks ever so much to them for stepping in. Thanks, Kat, for what you've done in the past. And she will be back because when we go away on holiday, if we're ever allowed to go away on holiday again, and we do the Hedge on holiday, she'll be behind the cameras and doing it all there. So you haven't seen the last of Kat yet. So let's see what people are saying. Gary Cole Wilkin, that's a dilly guitar. A dilly guitar. Yes, it is, Gary. This is one of my Lindo guitars. And for those of you that don't know, it's made of bamboo. And it's very beautiful. And the sound, it's fast turning into my favourite guitar, really. And the lovely thing is I can take it away on holiday with me. So that's that one. And who else is here? James Hubbard. Hello, James. Louise Booty. Sue Tucker. Alison Booty. I'm sure there's other people that I've missed. Claire Booty. Andy Walker. Simon Godfrey. Paul Duhig. Sue Tucker. Gosh, quite a few. Tom Blagg. Louise Booty. I said Louise Booty, didn't I? Julianne. Hello, Julianne. I'm not sure who you are. You're new. Welcome. So, welcome one and all. No questions to answer at the moment, so we'll just get on, shall we? I'm going to do another song now. Now, this song actually has a whistle bit in it. Unfortunately, I can't play the whistle and the guitar at the same time. So I thought what I'll try and do is I'll try and do the whistle bit at the front and then drop it on the floor and see if we can then play the guitar. We'll try that anyway. It's a song about being in prison in Turkey. So far from home, I cry out pain. One is my longing heart. long for her. I need her more than ever. Tell her it won't be long till I'm home to stay. And now I'll never go again. By your side I'll always stay. Yes, I'm longing to get home. I miss all your love and smile. Oh, how winter bites when you're so far away for so long, far too long, far too long, far too long. There you go, that's Midnight Express, made famous by the Saw Doctors. And I have to say that Paul Duhig, who is this watching tonight, he introduced me to the Saw Doctors. So thanks, Paul. Nice one. Kevin Roland drew it. I forgot to say hi to, well, there's so many people that come on, I don't get to see everyone, and the screen goes up and down and things like that. Carol Lee's here. Hello, Carol. If only Dorothea was here, we'd have the whole of Tallis. How about that? Frank Sales. Oh, he says lovely track. Thank you, Frank. Nice to hear. It's on the album All the Way from Tuam by the Saw Doctors. Great one. Who are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? We're going to go to our first video. Yes. Alchemy Acoustic. Now, they were on a few months back, if you remember, around about November time, I think it was. And they had a story about a soldier who went to war, but he was a soldier on the sea, as it were, you know, almost like a marine thing. And it was a really touching song and video. My brain has totally gone, even though I've got a script, I didn't write down the names of the two people in Alchemy Acoustic. I remember one's called Graham, and he writes the songs, and I think they're sung by his name's gone out of my brain. I can't remember. I'll try and remember while the song's on. Anyway, they got in touch with me. They sent me a new video, and it's a song about Chalgrove Field in Oxfordshire, set in the Civil War, the English Civil War, and it's a ballad. It's really quite lovely, and there's a lovely little video that goes with it. So here we go. It's the Battle of Chalgrove Field by Alchemy Acoustic.
Safe behind the walls of Oxford town, the king watches as his empire crashes down, with the rebels holding London and the army at the door. The time for talking's over now, it's war. Hitting brother against brother, and father against son. When the call to arms means choosing sides, the spilling English blood on England's soil, while the devil keeps the score. In a country torn apart by civil war, was a man of great renown, who had challenged the dominion of the crown. The father of the people and champion of the law. A patriot made rebel by the war, hitting brother against brother and father against son. When the call to arms means choosing sides, spilling English blood on England's soil while the devil keeps the score. In a country torn apart by civil war, near forgotten Hampden's name. In his place, warlike figures rose to fame. Pride of place for Cromwell's statue at Parliament's front door. A Chaldrove Hampden fell in that bloody war, hitting brother against brother and father against son. When the call to arms meets choosing sides, spilling English blood on England's soil while the devil keeps the score. In a country torn apart by civil war, hitting brother against brother and father against son. When the call to arms means choosing sides, spilling English blood on England's soil while the devil keeps the score. In a country torn apart by civil war,
Alan and Gary there, Alchemy Acoustic, and a lovely little track there, Chalgrove Field. Sorry, I keep getting the graves and groves muddled up, you know, sort of, as we go to Oxfordshire once a year, it gets a bit difficult to remember. So, don't forget, coming up later, we've got Flat White, our special guest. Well, they're all ready to entertain you, and in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be presenting a wonderful musician from London. Yeah, we're going further afield. A chap called Jerry Del Guercio. Jerry, as I say, he's based in London. He's been involved with, many bands, quite well-known ones as well. And he currently organises one of the fringe festivals at the Old Dairy Farm in Cropredy during Fairport's Cropredy Convention. So don't miss that. We've got a few treats lined up for you in March too. I've just managed to confirm our March dates already, or guests already. And on the 13th, we're going to have a chap called Tom Jennings. And Tom is actually watching tonight, I know that. And we got a little connection actually, which goes back to the 80s, but more of that in a couple of weeks or 4 weeks time. And then the week after that, we'll be like completing a whole year of the Hedge at home. And so I thought we really want to do something good. And well, we are. We're going to do it for the 2 shows, the 25th show and the 26th show. So we'll be celebrating, if the word celebration is right, those shows are something very special. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that towards the end. What have we got now? Well, that's a couple of acts to look forward to you there, isn't it? Now, Trevor Key, Blowing in the Windham. Thursday nights, 6 o'clock, Radio Windham. It's a great show, and I know some of you listen to it, and if you don't, I'm going to play a song that he played last week. Sorry, Trevor, pinched it again. But you know, it's coming up to Valentine's Day, and you can see that I have some beautiful red roses here. Aren't they? You know, absolutely. And they were bought for me by somebody who I love and admire very much. Me. And they're lovely, aren't they? And I always like to have some roses or some flowers beside us when we play. Anyway, this is a song that Trevor played on his Valentine's special on Thursday night. Well, he didn't play this one. He played a version by Ralph McTell, who wrote the song. But this is my version. He just made me frail. I'm scared to take her in my arms. There's an understanding now, and the peace behind the eyes. And if age is for complaining, you won't hear much from me. Growing old with Naomi. I recall the first time I took her in my arms. Times I was unfaithful, she said no future in the past. So we don't talk about it. Keeps a gentle edge on me, and I don't mind. Growing old with Naomi. She wasn't all I wanted, but she's all I'll ever need. Oh, rich men always want for more. I was rich indeed, a rich man and a poor fool, but it turned out right for me. How lucky can you get? Growing old with Naomi. The kids today, they think they discovered everything. But me and her, we've done it all without a wedding ring. Sometimes things remind us, and she's smiling back at me. It ain't hard. Growing old with Naomi. She wasn't all I wanted, but she's all I'll ever need. Oh, a rich man and a poor fool. I was rich indeed. I never thought how beautiful, but I do now. 'Cause I see I'm getting wiser. Growing old with Naomi. house is kind of quiet now. The kids have all left home. We'd like to see more of them, but we are grateful when they come. And in the silence afterwards, she comes and sits by me, make me feel like a man. Growing old with Naomi, make me feel like a man. Growing old with Naomi. That's Mr. McTell's Naomi. Lovely song. And for years afterwards, after I first heard that, I was going around trying to find a girlfriend called Naomi. Of course, I completely failed. I always do, you know. But lovely song. But it does remind me of that story about the man on his deathbed, and he says to his wife, he says, "Can you tell me, darling?" He says, "Have you ever been unfaithful to me?" And she says, "Well, darling, yes, I have." He says, "Really? Well, I forgive you, but how many times?" And he said, "Well, over the 50 years that we were married, I was unfaithful to you twice." He says, "Oh, thank God for that, only twice." He says, "I can actually forgive you for that, but tell me, who were you unfaithful with?" And he said, "Well, first of all with Di Williams down the road, and secondly with the Welsh Rugby Union team." Anyway, just a throwaway, sorry about that. So it's time for our next video, I think. Who we got on? Rosemary Phelps joined us, Brenda Reeder, hello Brenda, Richard Ricks, he remembers Naomi's from the 70s. Brilliant song, yes it is, isn't it? And there was somebody else further up who had joined us, and I haven't mentioned, and I can't find their name now, so sorry. It was somebody like Nadine or something like that, and somebody else as well. I can't keep track of you all. It's getting good. And do you know, we're now in America and Africa. We've got followers in Africa and followers in America, and they all catch up on YouTube. So we're getting on. Our video, our second video, it's Magicfolk. Now, back in the day, I used to organise Feathers Fest, and in the early days, Talis used to play, and then we would always have a headlining group, and that was before we thought we were good enough to headline ourselves. And one year we were lucky enough to get this group in, and they're called Magicfolk. They are a fantastic folk band, shades of Mandy Morton, if you ever remember her, and Steel Ice Band, etc. They've been in touch. They've got a new sort of single out called Hypnotised. They've got some new music out on their website, magicfolk.com. So have a listen to this, watch the video, it's really lovely. Magicfolk and Hypnotise.
Count to 10 and I'll be gone. To another world. I'm tired of this one. Take me Put me under, close my eyes, dress me up in a new disguise. Well, it all just seemed the same. Or can I play it any different if I run it again? No ties me.
So just as that video ended with all its enigmatic beauty, the wind just suddenly blew outside and made a weird noise. It's a pity you couldn't hear it. It was lovely. Magicfolk Hypnotise. And all the details about Magicfolk and Alchemy Acoustic, and indeed our next guest, are going to be on the screen at the end. We'll leave it up long enough for you to write anything down and then go and find out about them, which they'll be ever so pleased about, so please do. Now, nowadays, I work from a script, because especially considering I have like Mike and Becca sort of doing all the technical stuff from, or Mike's in Bunwell and Becca will be, I think, Cossey or something like that, I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter, you know, we're all one big community on Facebook and YouTube and things like that. So I work from a script now to help Mike out. And unfortunately, Mike, you can ignore the next song. I'm not going to do it because we're running nicely to time and I don't need to do any filler. So we're actually going to go on to introduce you to tonight's guest. Yay! So tonight's guest is Flat White. Now, Flat White have been around for a while now. Rixie is one of their members and Gary is another one of their members. And Gary, as I've told you before, used to be in Talis, and I mean, here's proof in case you needed it. There is, where is he? There's Gary over there. In the days when he was with Talis and with myself and Dorothea and Carol. But he's morphed into this sort of other music, when he was always a fantastic musician along with Rixie, and he's been in many bands, as they both have, and the latest incarnation is just as good as any of them. So he has given me something to think about, because even though I asked him to keep it in landscape, he's given me a mixture of portrait and landscape. And not only that, but put captions on as well. So he's kept us on our toes. Well done, Gary. Thank you very much for that. He's kept us on our toes, but I'm sure you're actually going to really enjoy this, because it is actually, well, I've watched it. It is really enjoyable. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage Flat White with their own captions.
Hi everybody, I'm Gary from Flat White, and welcome to tonight's Flat White gig. Not really a gig as such, because obviously Rixie, who's my partner, not my girlfriend partner, but my partner in the band, if you sort of know what I mean. Sorry, didn't mean to be offensive. Can't be here for obvious reasons, because we're in lockdown. I was asked to do this by Rob Duhig a few weeks ago, and I thought, yeah, no problem, just set the gear up, do it like a gig sort of thing in the living room. Didn't give it much thought, as you do. Then suddenly realised could be a bit boring if you do that, and it might not look very interesting. So I thought, what I'll do it like the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour, and I'll just shoot lots and lots of stupid little clips and play some songs as well, you know, and sort of bung it all together, and then sort of like give it to Rob and say, yeah, mate, do with that what you will. So that's my intention anyway. That's what I'm going to do. So I haven't got a clue what this will come out like. It'll probably be a complete and utter mess, a bit like Magical Mystery Tour, really. And I might even get slated for it like the Beatles did, but I'll be in good company if I did, so, you know, what the hell. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a few songs on different guitars, some new stuff, some oldies, one very oldie, which is for Carol, for you, Carol. I might do a bit of spoken word stuff, don't know yet, I decided. But I'm going to bung it all together, and it'll probably come to about 25 minutes or something silly like that. Edit it all on the computer, package it all up, sling it over to Robin, and he'll bung it on his show if he thinks it's worth watching. So don't know what's going to come out like. Might be awful, but life's too short, innit? Let's be honest. And let's be honest, we're living through the shittest times we've ever known. So it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just a bit of fun. So anyway, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you at the end.
Misfits. Yes, sir, we are the misfits. We like toys in the boxes, playing guitar. We're not what our parents wanted, but that's what we are. A misfit mystery to mum and dad. Not quite the child that they wanted to have. The misfits did not enjoy their school days, considered by their peers to be probably gay. The misfits often got a bloody nose. If you are different, that's how it goes when you're a misfit. And we were misfits. Misfits mystified by golf and cars. Is it a BMW? No, it's a car to a misfit. And we are misfits. Here is our world, take a peek, and you will find a happy den or peak. No aspiration to the things you seek because we're misfits. No hope of Premier League. We were the kids who considered a week. We got a note from our mum, so we didn't have to come and deal with you. Woohoo! 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 We do not seek your approval no more. We never loved football, rugby, or anything involving a ball. And we don't need you. We don't need you at all. Woohoo! 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 Yeah.
A man needs a drink now and then. Hen. A man needs a drink now and then. A man needs a drink now and then. Hen. A man needs a drink now and then. It's a PC world.
I love you, yes I love you, in a pink and pastel way. I love you, yes I love you, I would not defile you in any way. It's a PC world and you can get anything you want, except for one thing that you want. I want you, yes I want you, Okay, this one is a blast from the past. Haven't played this in ages, so might be crap, but here we go.
Hello everybody. Right, so this next song I'm going to play is called Falling Upstairs, which was on the Corpse Flowers album by Flat White. I had to think about that because there's been so many. Which I wrote this song about 4 years ago. Pretty certain I wrote it before an election. Usually do things like that. And it's sort of like basically sort of hope, not hate, of which we seem to be lacking a lot of hope and having a bit too much hate these days. So nothing much has changed in the last 4 years, obviously, so things got worse. So anyway, without further ado, I shall play it on 12-string guitar for you. Okay, here we go.
For a
Thank you. Memoirs of a Failed Rock and Roll Star. Take 746. Memoirs of a failed rock and roll star. Old hams never know when to quit the stage. A wizard, a true star, that's what you are. Remnant of golden age. Memoirs of a failed rock and roll star. On, ever on with the show. Fantastic, fantastic rock and roll show. Soon be time to go. Fade away and radiate. Fade away. Fade away and radiate. Glorious fall. Memoirs of a failed rock and roll star. Stardust memories from back in the day. I hope I'm not boring you, young man. If I am, just say. Memoirs of a failed rock and roll star. No needles, no pills, no calm. Wrapped round a tree in Barn 77. Nothing so romantic for me. Fade away and radiate. Fade away. Fade away and radiate. Glorious fall. Memoirs of a failed rock and roll star. We are getting very near the end. Fantastic, fantastic rock and roll show. But now it's time to go. There again, right? Well, this one is this one. No, you're not positioned rightly. So. Da, 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 da. Right, this is the recent song, "The New Age," which seems to go down quite well, surprisingly. When I wrote it, I was listening to a lot of Human League, the Dare album, and also Sparks' Number One in Heaven album, which my good friend Philip noticed the influence on there. So it's basically a techno pop song, but it's just basically 3 chords. Like everything I do is just 3 chords, you know, C, G, D, and all that stuff. So it's easily transposed to guitar. No, the old sort of saying is, if you can play it on acoustic guitar, it must be a decent song. So let's see if I can play it on acoustic guitar. So this is "The New Age." We are taking a knee for the new age. We are taking a knee for the new age. This is you and me. We are gender neutral and free. This is our new age. 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 A brave new world. We are taking a knee for the new year. We are taking a knee for the new year.
age. This is our new age, our brave new world. We are taking a knee for the new age. We are taking a knee for the new age. Driving fossil free through the burning trees. This is our new age. 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 A brave new world. We are taking a knee for the new age. We are taking a knee for the new age. This age of equality, unless it's you and me. This is our new age. 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 A brave new world. A brave new world.
Hi. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let me just change your angle a little bit. So that was Flat White live from Avenue Road, and I'm just enjoying my breakfast this morning before I head off to work, because even rock and roll stars have to earn a living, and we certainly don't get it from music. I hope you enjoyed the show. Stay safe. Keep wearing your mask. Always use decent butter. Be nice to people, because we're all very tense at the minute and everybody keeps rowing and getting arsey, which is understandable, but step back. Keep your shit together. And hopefully we'll come out of this at the end, and then we'll be able to do gigs and stuff again like we used to in the olden days. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy my toast, and I think you should have some too. And stay safe, wear your mask, don't be an anti-vaxxer because you're just a dick, you know, just fucking inject yourself, and have a good time. See you later.
Do not ever, ever put the buttery knife into the jam. Well, when I saw that video yesterday, she was almost having a heart attack that he nearly put that knife into the jam. Good Lord, Gary, you must know better. God, what can I say? Brilliant, brilliant set, Gary. Thank you ever so much for that. And hopefully when things are more back to normal, we can get you and Rixie's to do one together. So, yeah, round of applause for Flat White. Yeah, well, that's a round of applause. So we come towards the end. Everything's worked out quite nicely again. But before we go, just a little reminder about what's coming up. Now, in 2 weeks' time, 27th of February, we have Jerry Del Guercio. And Jerry will be performing for us. A great little set, I'm absolutely sure. 2 weeks after that, on the is it 13th of March? I believe so. 13th of March. It will be Tom Jennings. And Tom's a young chap from Norwich, and I must admit there's a bit of nepotism going on there because he goes out with my eldest daughter, but he's a fantastically talented singer and guitarist, so look forward to that one. Now, I did say we got something special coming up for you towards the end of March, beginning of April. So when we celebrate, if we can call it a celebration, a year of the Hedge at Home. You may remember 2 weeks ago, I played a video from a group called Bright Blue Gorilla, and it was Love Potion number 69. It was in the soundtrack of their film 69 Husbands. And Robin Rosenkrantz, who's part of Bright Blue Gorilla, was watching the show, and she really enjoyed it, and she recommended the show to some of her colleagues in the music business and put them on to me. And so I can now exclusively reveal to you that on the 27th of March we will be having an American musician all the way from California appearing, a chap called Michael McNevin. It's really worthwhile typing it into Facebook and going to his page. He is a professional musician, yet he wants to play for us to bring his music to good old Little Britain. So that's Michael McNevin on the 27th of March. And then 2 weeks after that, on the 10th of April, we've got a chap called Mark Davis. Mark Davis is also from California, also a full-time musician. And he also would like to play for us and show you some of his beautiful stuff as well. So, you know, we're going to have a bit of a California, is it, how do you pronounce? No, I've got nobody here to correct me. Californication? Is that right? So please, please, please tune in. You know, we've got loads of shows lined up ready for you, and people that really want to be heard, and it's just so nice to have all these people that want to be heard, and it's so nice to have an audience to play to, because a lot of us musicians, we really miss playing to an audience. And honestly, it is so difficult doing this with a camera. Thank God for Facebook that we can put all the little comments up and actually see that we have a live audience. Right, sorry. Okay, here we are. We're towards the end now, so the traditional finishing up song. So, what can I say? Here we go. Gonna wipe the slate clean and follow my dreams. All the yearning buds are here again, with a promise of a new life to come. Spring is here again. The sun is melting over the hill. All the words are waiting to be revealed. What a day in history has brought us to here. Now it's all there for the taking. The day is what we see. turn and work is in hand. All the cynics have vanished from where I stand. All the chances wasted of drawing us near. And all around there's a new life rising from the winter field. I'm alive again. I'm alive again. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive again. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive again. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive again. I'm alive again. May morning, and here we go at the end of the show, really on time tonight. So thanks to Alchemy Acoustic, thanks to Magicfolk, thanks to Flat White, thank you remote producer Magic Mike, hey, but especially thanks to all of you that watch this week in, week out on Facebook, on YouTube, on catch up, whatever, you know. It's so good to have you along, and as I said earlier, it's so good to be able to play to people, even if it is a bit weird playing to a camera all the time, but we know you're there, and it really does make a difference. So thanks everybody, may your gods go with you, stay safe, and I'll see you in 2 weeks time with Jerry Delgasio. Until then, bye.